Hi, I'm Dr. Bertice Berry. When you get a PhD, you have to write a dissertation. It's like a book on whatever it was that you were studying, and what you're studying has to be new. It has to add to the body of knowledge. It has to cause a change in the way we're thinking about something. It has to cause a shift in the paradigm. When I went to defend my dissertation, they had announced in church that Sunday that I would be defending. And the mothers of the church came up to me and said, "Baby, you having your dissertation thing?" I said, "Yes, ma'am." They said, "What time it is?" I said, "Why?" They said, "We're going to come." I said, "No." In my mind, what I was doing was so brilliant, so new, so amazing. It wasn't something that they could comprehend. And this was what I was trying to evolve from. I was too stupid to understand that their prayers, that their love, that their concern for me was exactly what I needed. But I lied and told them it started at 11 when it really started at 10. What I didn't understand was that old people show up early. Miss Nellie and Miss Gaskins had gotten Miss Gaskins' daughter and Salora Mabry to drive a whole group of them there. They were there early. They fed my committee. I didn't have to make any changes when the thing was done because of their presence. They didn't speak. It was my role to speak. It was my role to defend the work that I had done. But if somebody said something and if was asking something or coming at it, you have to test to see if what I'm saying is true, and you have to question. If any of those committee members did something and they didn't just like the tone, they got to praying out loud. "In the name of Jesus, come in the room, my baby trying to get her PD." They didn't know what it was really, but they knew it was important to me, and therefore it was important to the movement. Fast forward to about 5 years ago, the brilliant Dr. Adrienne Boner Dickey was defending her dissertation. I was on her committee and had worked with her to see her through it, but I couldn't attend the defense. So I said, "Adrienne, make sure your mama and your aunt go and sit in the room." She said, "Yeah?" I said, "Yeah, girl, you got to take your people with you." I went there virtually. So she held up the camera and said, "Girl, we had to move to a bigger room." I said, "What? What are you talking about?" She turned the camera around and they were in a huge room and it was packed. I said, "Where all these people come from?" She said, "My mom and my aunt went around inviting other people who were here for their defense and their parents and their family and their other people who were here for the graduation to come into my defense." I said, "You got to be kidding me." It was a room filled, and Adrienne's work was brilliant. She studied weight discrimination, which is an amazing thing to study because really what she was proving that when you don't love yourself, you can't love anybody else. And she proved it so well that nobody could deny it. In fact, she was nominated for a Guggenheim Award. Whew. But when she went to defend, and the committee members said something about, "Is this proven? Should she get her dissertation? Should she get her PhD?" Somebody in the back of that room stood up and started cheering, "Yes!" And everybody else stood up and began to cheer. And they were asking for questions of the committee, but the people in the audience had questions and their voices were heard. Here's what I'm trying to tell you, babies. Sometimes the thing is not about you. It's not even what you do. But it should be important to everybody else. It should be important enough that we defend the defenders, that we stand up. We don't have to speak, but we can speak up in your defense. That's how movements happen. That the freedom of those young folks in South Africa, of Nelson Mandela, of all who were involved, that their freedom was my freedom. That my freedom is your freedom. That when you love yourself enough, you can stand up for me. And when I love me, I can love my neighbor. This movement feels so different. It feels like love. I love you.